My name's Tom Ross, and welcome to the Honest Entrepreneur Show, where I'm bringing you tried and tested advice to help your online business without any of the bullshit. In an interview with Richard Branson, the interviewer asked him, what is the single biggest thing that he does that helps his business? And Richard Branson's answer was, he works out. He goes to the gym, he exercises, and he works out. And that answer always stayed with me, not only because of the obvious benefits of exercise on your life and business, but it got me thinking about the parallels between the gym and entrepreneurship. For me, there are a ton of parallels between entrepreneurship and the gym. And whether you love going to the gym and you love working out or not, I think it's useful to look at some of these parallels and the lessons that we can take away from them. I think possibly the biggest similarity is that with both entrepreneurship and the gym, the results are the results. There can be no excuses. There's a lot of things that I think people fake in life. You can fake wealth even, right? There's people renting fancy cars, having fake watches, but you can't fake the results in the gym the same way you can't fake the success and the results of your business, not when it really comes down to it. And so the same way I could buy all the workout gear in the world and have the best workout shoes and wristbands and all the rest of it, but I am not going to have a great physique unless I put in the work every single week, week after week after week consistently. Same thing with my business. The money will not come. I can't fake it. I can't really trick my way into it. I have to show up every week. I have to put in the work, and those results are going to completely map to the effort and the skills and the talent that I put into it. So really, entrepreneurship and the gym are two of the most exposing things in life that you can do, because there is simply nothing to hide behind. The outcome is so linked inextricably to the input. And if you're full of shit, that leaves you very exposed. I think as well with entrepreneurship and the gym, both seem to be this ever ongoing journey. You're always looking to level up. You're always looking to get better in both crafts. And so the constant striving for perfection, yes, it will often lead to progress and results, but equally, you never get there. I feel like you're always searching for that next thing waiting for you just over the horizon. And this can be great because it makes us ambitious. It makes us kind of go after it. It makes us motivated. It makes us work hard. But equally, it can make us miserable because we never achieve what we're really going after. The goalpost is always moving. And that's why it's so important with both things to stop and feel good about the results you actually have achieved, to celebrate them. I know, I'm not in like exactly ripped shape, but I have been working with a trainer. I've been going to the gym, and I've worked back up from the poorest health of my life after I got surgery to now being the strongest and the fittest that I've ever been. And so I might not look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I can still look in the mirror and feel good about myself and realize how far I've come. I can still lift the heaviest I ever have and feel great about that personal achievement. And it's very much on me. So I shouldn't be comparing myself to others. And that's obviously very common in both entrepreneurship and the gym. But ultimately, you're only competing against yourself. You're trying to level up against yourself. You're trying to push yourself. It's not going to help me to go and look at the biggest guy in the gym the same way I shouldn't be looking at influencers or huge people on social media and feeling shit about where I'm at. I think with both things, there is always more to learn. And it's only when you get into going to the gym more and exercising more, you actually realize the complexity of it. I used to really reduce it to like, well, it's just picking up a weight. Simple as that, right? It's only for meatheads. But there's a whole science behind these things. There are endless variations, endless workouts, different ways of stressing and shocking your muscles and mixing things up. And there really are just so many variants. The same thing with business, right? There is a lot of plates to spin, a lot of things to worry about and kind of look after. And often it can feel like a minefield. And that's not helped by the huge amount of misinformation in both arenas. I mean, this is obviously terrible with sleazy internet marketers, but it's equally bad with people in the exercise industry. There is so much bullshit out there. I follow a PT called James Smith, who hails from the UK. He actually blew up and got very famous calling these people out because it just got ludicrous, whether it's on the cover of like a top fitness magazine or it's some influencer who's pushing some fit loss supplement or something like that. There is just bad advice and information everywhere you look. You can't see the wood for the trees. And for someone who is perhaps more amateur and trying to get into their fitness, it is an absolute minefield. You don't know who to trust, who's actually making good salient points. It is super confusing. And I lived exactly that same thing on my entrepreneurial journey. It took me years of digging shit advice, bad information to actually weed out the mentors who I should be paying attention to. But I had to be really proactive. I had to basically cast aside 99% of my entire industry to find my path to the right information, the true way that I should be doing things. I think as well, both entrepreneurship and the gym come down to fundamentals. So as much complexity as there is in both, it's also worth getting back to basics. And for me, the fundamentals are the work you put in and your innate ability or talent. So with entrepreneurship, I've had to be self-aware to understand like what my strengths are, what I'm good at. I know I'm good at building brands, building communities, disruptive communities at that, and caring about people and all that side of things. But I'm not good at certain other elements. There's a lot of business and entrepreneurship that I suck at, so that's not what I focus on. Equally in the gym, there are people with certain strengths and certain weaknesses. Some people are naturally going to put on muscle really fast. Other people have fantastic endurance and can run for days. Other people will progress in other areas. And so it's really important to kind of hone in on what you're naturally good at and then try and layer the fundamental of hard work on top of that. Because without hard work, the natural abilities and talents will be completely squandered. I remember I went to school with a guy and he was just naturally like a big guy, really athletic. He joined and just killed it on the football team. Like he ran circles around all the opposition. Any schools would come and play us. And he would just like outrun them, outshoot them. He was an incredible natural football player. But he also went and got incredibly high and eventually expelled from school. And so he squandered it by not putting in the work and not backing that up. And again, the same thing completely plays out in the gym, completely plays out in entrepreneurship. I know some talented people out there, but they're fundamentally too lazy to put in the work, and so they get nowhere. Equally, I know some really hardworking people, but they lack self-awareness about their natural innate abilities, so they focus on pushing the wrong thing and never really find traction. You need both fundamental parts together. This is really weird, and I promise, like, not staged, but I looked down at my phone for a second, and my personal trainer, literally as I'm recording this episode about the gym and entrepreneurship, tagged me in a photo of like a before and after of my progress. So I don't know if you can see that. That shows like decent progress in terms of like a back workout, I guess. But equally, I know the results could be even more. I think we've been working together for like 6 months, maybe a little bit longer. I don't always push myself 150%. I have skipped the odd session. My diet hasn't been perfect, but I'm pretty proud of what I've achieved. And similar thing with entrepreneurship, right? So with this brand and with this show, I always could have done more, but rather than beat myself up that it's not bigger and better than it is, I need to celebrate where I'm at now. So continuing with the gym entrepreneurship thing, I think you need to realize there are going to be shitty days and shitty weeks, maybe even months at points. There are always times where you might not feel like working out. The same way there are times you feel uninspired in your business. You don't feel like creating. You don't feel like responding to people. You can't be bothered. You feel lethargic, burnt out, whatever it might be. The same thing maps to both, right? But it's the importance of showing up. I know if I go and do a workout when I feel like I'm getting a bit sick or run down or I'm sleepy or whatever it might be, I feel especially proud of myself if I show up on those days because I'm this close to skipping it. And it's the same thing. Like last night I posted on Instagram at midnight because I nearly forgot to post and I'm practically falling asleep, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna just scramble together and get this post out because I know how important consistency is. And consistency is such a fundamental part of the game with, of course, exercise and entrepreneurship. Just showing up consistently, one foot in front of the other, one lift at a time, one post, one DM, one bit of content, one business deal at a time. That shit really adds up over the long term. Along those lines, just showing up, patience matters so much. I'm not expecting overnight results with my businesses or with the gym. I'm going to keep showing up for years and years and years, and progress is going to be so slow that for long periods I'm probably going to feel like it's not even happening. But it's only when you look back, like that picture I just pulled up, it's only when you look back a few months or better yet, a few years, you realize how far you've come. You've got to be patient. You've got to think long term. And there are no quick wins, unless, like in the gym, you're talking steroids or something like that. And we all know what happens if you go too far down that road. So there are side effects. Same thing, right? In business, if you try and cheat the system, hack your way in, it's generally not going to end well. Or at the very least, it's not going to let you build something meaningful and impactful and long term. So there you have it, my comparison of entrepreneurship and the gym. I hope this was kind of a useful framework to think about the two in. And for me, they've become very closely linked. I know I can do better in my business when I'm exercising and feeling healthy and fit. Same way when my business is going well, I feel happier, it motivates me, and often it motivates me to get back in the gym. And I know both things actually develop my character. Through me showing up every day, pushing myself beyond my limits in my business and being super consistent, that has made me better in the gym. It's made me push myself there. It's forced me to be more consistent. And so the two really do drive each other. And I think there's a lot to be learned from both, because it all comes down to us. Like I say, the results are the results. It rests on your shoulders. So what are you going to make of it? I hope this episode was helpful. And as always, I appreciate your time and attention so much. And I will see you next time. Hey, thanks so much for watching this episode. Really, really appreciate you being here with me. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe right here on YouTube. Remember, tick the little bell icon so that you get proper notifications. I really hope you're enjoying the show. I hope you'll stick around for the upcoming episodes. I really want to keep bringing you as much value as possible. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you guys soon.